Hey guys, and welcome back to the Peteytown Piranhas, a college football 26 team builder dynasty. In this episode, we're going to be going through year 29 of the program. It's going to be the penultimate season as we approach that 30-year cap on dynasties. And pretty much the last couple of years, we're just trying to keep streaks alive that we got going. We've won 12 straight national championships, trying to make that 13, of course. And that gives us 192 games won in a row, trying to make that an even 200 this year. We have also won 18 straight Big Ten championships, going for 19 straight this year, and then that also gives us 19 straight regular seasons without a loss, trying to go for an even 20, and we have also won 228 straight regular season games, so very exciting stuff there. And we're going to start this video by looking at the schedule we're facing, then we're going to look at the team that we're working with, and of course, again, no high school recruiting as we approach the end of the dynasty, and if you're feeling so inclined, you can give a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you like what you're watching. We're going to open up our year against UConn, and they played in week 0 and lost, so they're 0-1 to start the year. Then we're going to take on LSU and TCU as well as Cal. Then we're going to open up Big Ten Conference play against Iowa. Then we're going to have a bye week, and following that we got Illinois, Nebraska, Indiana, Michigan State, Wisconsin, and then a couple of tough games to end the year with Ohio State and USC. Your Piranhas are once again going to open the season ranked number 1 with 99s across the board in overall offense and defense. And we got 4 99 overall players on offense. We got Sherwin Owen at guard, then 3 defensive players with free safety Cameron Irvin, right edge Eric Amaro, and cornerback Torrey Dorsey. Transfer quarterback Josh Miles will be leading our offense this year, and in the backfield with him will be Marquez Hopper with that elite dev. Then we also got Tremaine Hurtado for different packages. Then for fullback, we're going to have our senior J.P. Dickens. Then at wide receiver will be Pat Sates leading the way, along with Larry Droege and Quincy Daniels. You're also going to see Jason Bale and Jared Barnes making an impact, I hope. Then at tight end, we're going to have Ronnie Lawrence. Then behind him will be Zach Tobin. Then left to right across the offensive line, we're going to have Tyler Haslam at tackle. At guard, of course, will be Sherwin Owen. At center will be Jarek Baskerville. At right guard will be Marvin Pryor. Then at right tackle will be Sua Yamini. The ultra-dynamic Eric Amaro will once again be at edge for us, and behind him will be Deshaun Marshall, who will serve at the other edge for different rushing packages, and Harvey Hepburn will primarily be out there, but in those rushing packages, he'll serve as a defensive tackle. And then at the defensive tackle spot for the other guys, you're going to have Howie Durbin, Gerald Barmore, and Tevin Montgomery. Then at linebacker on the outside will be Terrell Bettis. In the middle will be Mark McGinnis, and the other outside linebacker will be Nate Mowdy. Then at cornerback, we're going to have Colin Steets and Torrey Dorsey out there primarily. Then the slot guy will be Jalen York once again. Then at free safety will be Cameron Irvin. Then at strong safety, we're going to have Jeff Zanzenbacher, and Earl Calloway will be in there for 3 safety looks. And then for our kicker, it's going to be A.J. So, a freshman. And then at punter will be junior Pat Carruthers. Our penultimate season begins with a road game against UConn, who's 0-1 as I mentioned, and they have an 81 team overall. Our first drive of the season is going to result in a touchdown pass from Josh Myers to Ronnie Lawrence, so nice start there. And the first sack of the season for the Piranhas is going to be credited to Harvey Hepburn. And this time it'll be Pat Sates in the end zone on that easy pitch and catch from Josh Myers, and we're going to go up 14-0. And he's going to go down. Tevin Montgomery pushing him down. And we are going to fire that one into the end zone. It's going to be Quincy Daniels hauling that one in, and Josh Myers has his 3rd touchdown of the day to his 3rd different player. And that double fake is not going to work as our guy Terrell Bettis gets back there for the sack. And Eric Amaro is going to follow up that sack with another one, and it's going to be a forced fumble, but we don't get it. And it's going to be to the outside, and it's going to be Ronnie Lawrence hauling that one in for his second touchdown, as Josh Myers is just completely dealing right now, as it's 28-0. And Harvey Hepburn is going to come up the middle and get that sack. And here's another sack for this Piranhas defense, as it's going to be Tevin Montgomery again. And here's the first sack for UConn on the day. And Marquez Hopper is going to get the blocks he needs, and Marquez is going to beat everybody to that end zone, and it's going to be 35-0 Piranhas. And another sack for the Piranhas, and it's going to be our guy Terrell Bettis again. And for the first time, it's going to be our freshman kicker coming on to put one through, and he will do just that to make it 38-0 Piranhas. We open up our season with a 45-0 shutout of UConn. Just great job all around by the Piranhas. Really no complaints from me. A phenomenal day from the Peteytown Piranhas, as we had 544 yards to UConn's 75. On the ground, we had 202 and 2 touchdowns, and they had negative 53. For passing, we had 342, and they had 128. For third down, we were 5 for 8, and they were 3 for 12. And turnovers, there were none in this game. Excellent debut for Josh Miles with 326 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and he was sacked once. Then for our ground game, Dom Quarterman led us with 7 for 96 and a score, while Marquez Hopper had 9 for 75 and a score. Then for receiving, Ronnie Lawrence had 14 for 127 and 2 touchdowns. Larry Droege, 4 for 61. Quincy Daniels, 5 for 44 and a touchdown. Pat Sates, 6 for 41 and a touchdown. Austin Chamberlain with 8 tackles today to lead us, and then for sacks, we had a bunch today with 2 by Terrell Bettis and another 2 from Tevin Montgomery, 1.5 for Eric Amaro, as well as Harvey Hepburn, Mike Edmonds, and Joseph Harbor, then half a sack each for Howie Durbin, Cordale Reese, and Mike Cassay. And then for forced fumbles, we had a couple today. Eric Amaro and Joseph Harbor got those, but we didn't recover them. Then for our kicking game, freshman AJ Snow came in, hit his only field goal attempt for 32 yards. It's always nice to have a guy at the top of the Heisman Trophy list at the beginning of the year, and we have that with quarterback Josh Miles. Our first home game of the year will be against the LSU Tigers, and they lost their opening game, and they are a 91 team overall. And it's going to be Pat Sates getting behind the defense on that RPO post, and Pat is gone to the end zone as we open up the scoring in this matchup. And we're going to cut that one off. Earl Callaway over there, and he's going to pick it off to get it just outside of their red zone. And it's going to be the deep ball into the end zone, and it is going to be caught by Larry Droege for the touchdown. I say deep ball, and we're in the red zone, but I just mean the route further down the field on that play that we love in this area. And it's going to be 14-0 Piranhas. And Eric Amaro chasing him down, and Eric Amaro brings him down. And in the back of the end zone, it's going to be Pat Sates working back there, and he's got another touchdown in this game from Josh Miles. And just wanted to make a quick note, I think I called him Josh Myers a couple of times in the first game, but it's definitely Josh Miles, and he's definitely dealing in this game. Marquez Hopper is going to get this one out of the flex bone, and he's got to fight through a couple of LSU defenders, but he does just that to make it 28-0. And right up the middle, he dives for it, and we hit him before he completes that dive, but not before he gets the ball over the line to put LSU on the board, and we've given up our first points of the season. And it's going to be Tremaine Hurtado, or no, that's Marquez Hopper, excuse me. Marquez is going to take that screen play, and we block it well enough, and he does the rest to make it 35-7. And it's going to be Josh Miles right up the middle, and the second level blocking works for us on that QB blast, and the Peteytown Piranhas will go up 42-7. And here's another touchdown for LSU and a nice little spin move to get them in, and it's going to be 42-14. And it's going to be Josh Miles up the middle again for another rushing score as the Piranhas take the 49-14 lead. This one ended up being a 56-17 final for the Peteytown Piranhas. Just great job on offense, and our defense doing their thing. Gave up a few points, but really kept LSU at bay so our offense can do their thing. Our offense got 522 yards, while LSU had 298, and then on the ground they had 52 and a touchdown, and we had another 200-yard rushing game as a team with 204 and 4 scores. Then for passing, they had 246, we had 318. For third down, they were 5 for 13, we were 6 for 8, and turnovers, they had 3 and we had 0. Josh Miles doing his thing again with 315 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and he was not sacked. And then for our running game, Marquez Hopper, 16 for 83 and a touchdown. Then Josh Miles, 10 for 74 and 2 scores. Then Josh Fasano, 2 for 42 and a touchdown. Then on the receiving end, Pat Sates with a huge game, 12 catches, 197 yards, and 2 scores. Then Larry Droege, 3 for 37 and a touchdown. And then Marquez Hopper, 2 for 23 and a touchdown, giving him 2 on the day. Earl Callaway with 7 tackles today to lead us, and then for sacks, we got 1 from Eric Amaro, and interceptions, we got Will Metz on 1, along with Cordell Reese and Earl Callaway. Pat Sates was rewarded with a Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. After a mighty fine first couple of games for Josh Miles, he has dropped all the way down to 5th place for the Heisman Trophy. The 9th-ranked TCU Horned Frogs come to the Piranha Tank with their 92 team overall and 2-0 record on this early season. Josh Miles is going to take this one, and we seal that lane off for him for a rushing score to open up the touchdowns in this one. And here's a sack for the Piranhas. He's going to get chased down by Nate Nowdy. And getting around the edge will be Marquez Hopper, and Marquez finds the end zone to make it 14-0. And that's going to be intercepted by TCU. That was kind of a crazy play. Trying to hit our guy Pat Sates over the middle and just got away from Josh Miles. Had a funky bounce that landed into their hands, so not really going to blame Josh on that one as it's his first of the year. After the interception, TCU is going to set up for a field goal, a 57-yard attempt, and their man is going to boot this one away, and he is going to make it this time, and it's going to be 14-3. And we're going to find our man at the back of the end zone. That's going to be Quincy Daniels hauling it in for a 21-3 lead. And Torrey Dorsey is going to sky for that one and take it away from the receiver. Their quarterback trying to beam one in there, and Torrey was all over it. And it's going to be Ronnie Lawrence wide open on the pop pass, and we are in again. Nice delivery from Josh, and it's going to be 28-3 Piranhas. And it's going to be another interception. It's Torrey Dorsey again, and we are going to return it to their, looks like the 35, but just a tip drill, and Torrey was there. And it's going to be out to Ronnie Lawrence, and Ronnie's got that one for another touchdown before the end of the half, and we're going to be up 35-3. And we're going to hit a nice one here, and that's going to be gone. That's going to be, I believe, Jared Barnes making that catch. Josh Miles with a frozen rope onto that one. Beautiful arm strength and accuracy to complete it, and it's going to be 42-3. And we're going to get another interception. This time it's Harvey Hepburn dropping back in coverage and fooling their quarterback, and we're going to be set up very nicely at their 14. And to the outside, it's going to be a wonderful catch there by Ronnie Lawrence, able to reach out for it and keep his feet down for the touchdown, and it'll be 49-3. AJ So will come on for a field goal attempt here, and AJ is going to put this one up, and it is going to be good to make it 52-3. The Piranhas get the 59-3 victory over TCU. Just absolute dominance here from our boys as we continue our very strong start to the year. We had just over 600 yards of offense as we had 605 and TCU had 131. Then on the ground they had 30 and we had 183 and 2 touchdowns. For the passing game they had 101 and we had 422. Third down they did not convert any as they went 0 for 8. We were 7 for 9. And for turnovers they had 3 and we had our first of the year. Outside of the interception, Josh Miles was brilliant today with 392 yards, 5 touchdowns, and the pick, and he was not sacked. Then Julius Castile had 30 yards and a touchdown toss. On the ground, Dom Quarterman had 9 for 80, Marquez Hopper 7 for 45 and a touchdown, and Josh Miles 5 for 31 and a touchdown. For receiving, Ronnie Lawrence had 10 for 91 and 3 scores. Larry Droege had 6 for 89. Then we got a 75-yard touchdown from Jared Barnes, and Pat Sates had 7 for 68. And then you got our guy Quincy Daniels, 2 for 16 and a touchdown, and a 14-yard touchdown catch for Dom Quarterman. 6 tackles by Earl Calloway to lead us, and then for sacks we had 1 from Nate Mowdy. Then for interceptions we got 2 from Torrey Dorsey and another from Harvey Hepburn. And for kicking, AJ So had 1 make for 45 yards. Josh Miles is back on top of the Heisman Trophy race after that really nice game. We're going back on the road now to face Cal, and they're number 19 in the country with an 81 team overall, and they're 3-0 to start this year. And we're going to get that interception. Harvey Hepburn's got another one this year as he does a little jump to get it, and we're going to be right on there, 29. And it's going to be Pat Sates fighting through 3 Cal defenders to get into the end zone. They might have brought him down, but then that guy came from behind and tried to get involved, and that gave Pat the momentum and his fight. And both of those things really contributed to Pat getting in there. And we're going to go up 7-0. And it's going to be Marquez Hopper breaking free here. He's going to get a block downfield that's going to spring him free. And Marquez Hopper makes a visit to the end zone to make it 14-0. And Eric Amaro is going to bend around that tackle and get to the quarterback for another sack on this young season. And this time it's going to be Ronnie Lawrence coming across the field and getting into the end zone as we go up 3 scores. And there's a fumble on the play, and it's going to be picked up by Cameron Irving, and Cameron's going to get into the end zone. Just a terrible play there for Cal. Just really unfortunate, but we are going to take advantage to go up 28-0. Cal finally gets into scoring position, and they're going to send out their field goal kicker, and he is going to put this one up, and it is through to make it 28-3. And into the end zone, it's going to be Ronnie Lawrence. I guess he hung on to it long enough for the refs to call it a touchdown, but we don't have to talk about it as we go up 35-3. And that's going to be intercepted beautifully downfield. Cameron Irving a part of another touchdown today as he's just having himself a heck of a game. It's Cameron Irvin, not Irving. Thought it was Irving. And it's going to be Pat Sates getting into the end zone. They knocked down our guy Tremaine out there, but he did enough to occupy that defender to allow Pat to get into the end zone for the second time today. Near the end of the first half, it's going to be AJ So coming on for a hash mark field goal, so we'll see how the freshman handles it. And he handles it nicely to make it 45-3. And that's going to be intercepted by Cal, and they are going to return it to the 45-yard line. Just was able to cut that pass off. And he's going to go down as our guy Howie gets back there for the sack. It'll be another field goal attempt for Cal after their interception on us, and their kicker is going to put this through to make it 45-6. And over the middle, it's going to be our guy getting into the end zone, Quincy Daniels, making that tough catch, and we're going to go up 52-6. Another big win for the Peteytown Piranhas as we take this one 59-13 over Cal. We outgained Cal 583 to 344, and then on the ground we had 168 and a touchdown, and they had 115 and a touchdown. For passing, we had 415, they had 229. For a third down, we were 6 for 8, they were 3 for 11, and turnovers, we had 1, they had 5. Josh Miles with 339 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and he was not sacked. Then our guy Julius Castile had 76 yards and a touchdown. For rushing, Marquez Hopper had 6 carries for 87 yards and that 1 long touchdown. And then our guy Dom Quarterman had 4 for 64. And then for receiving, Pat Sates, 10 for 111 and 2 touchdowns. Then Ronnie Lawrence, 7 for 101 and 2 touchdowns. And our guy Quincy Daniels, 6 for 57 and 1 touchdown. Then we also got a touchdown with Jason Bale, a nice 53-yarder for him. A handful of guys with 5 tackles today is Torrey Dorsey, Terrell Bettis, Earl Callaway, and Mark McGinnis got those. Then for sacks, we had 1 each for Antonio Dawkins, then Taylor Palacio, Eric Amaro, and Howie Durbin. Then for interceptions, we got a bunch here. Javier Lolito got 1, as well as Harvey Hepburn, Cameron Irvin, and Jay Azur. And then we also had a forced fumble today from Torrey Dorsey. That was picked up by Cameron Irvin, and he returned it 20 yards for a touchdown. And then for kicking, our guy AJ So, he came out and made 1 attempt here, and it was a 20-yarder. Our guy Josh Miles went from 1st to 4th on the Heisman Trophy watch list. Another road game for the Peteytown Piranhas as we take on Iowa with their 2-1 record and 77 team overall. And it's going to be Marquez Hopper just absolutely accelerating into the end zone to put our first points on the board for this game. And it's going to be our guy Deshaun Marshall getting back there for the sack. Showing a highlight here because out of the corner of my eye I was watching the USA versus Belgium match in the World Cup, so just giving you a little timestamp of when I was recording this. But here's what happened. Josh Miles dropped back, he threw and tried to hit our guy downfield, but Iowa was able to undercut that for the interception. And we're going to get an interception here, and it's going to be Torrey Dorsey bringing it all the way back for a touchdown for the Piranhas. Nobody's even in the frame for him. Torrey Dorsey with a huge play to make it 14-0. And that's going to be another interception for Iowa as we try to hit the corner route there, and they are going to return that to the 38. And they are just launching that one deep, and it's going to be Torrey Dorsey with another interception in this game as he's going to try a return, and he is going to finally get stopped up around midfield. So nice job by Torrey on both interceptions that we've had today. Torrey's able to get 2 of his own, so just beautiful response by our defense. And it's going to be Josh Miles on the run, finding our guy Quincy Daniels in the back of the end zone. And it's going to be 21-0 Piranhas. And Eric Amaro gets in for the sack and forces a fumble, and that's going to be picked up by Deshaun Marshall. And we're going to be set up at their 23. And it is going to be a touchdown for the Piranhas. Nice grab there by Zach Tobin, and it's going to be 28-0. Iowa is going to try a 60-yard field goal, and their kicker is going to put this one up And it is going to go through, so very impressive kick. And they try a Hail Mary here, and it's going to be picked off by Cameron Irvin to close the first half. And here's an immediate sack by our guy Howie Durbin. And here's a touchdown for the Piranhas. Quincy Daniels again getting into the end zone. And we're going to go up 35-3. And trying to hit their man in the end zone, but just too much traffic there, and Mark McGinnis is going to come away with it. And it's going to be Travante Hurtado getting out of there, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Piranhas. What a great effort there by Travante, and the Piranhas will go up 42-3. This is Tremaine Hurtado. I don't know why I said Travante, it's Tremaine Hurtado. Despite a couple of interceptions from Josh Miles, we still get the dominant 42-6 victory over Iowa. We had 413 yards to Iowa's 288. Then on the ground, we had 161 and 2 touchdowns. They had 26. For passing, we had 252 and they had 262. For third down, we were 6 for 9, nice, and they were 4 for 12. And for turnovers, we had 2 and they had 6. Josh Miles finished with 251 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the 2 interceptions, and he was not sacked. Then for our ground game, Marquez Hopper had 10 for 59 and a touchdown, and we got a 43-yard touchdown run from Tremaine Hurtado. And for receiving, Zach Tobin had 7 for 93 and 1 touchdown, while Ronnie Lawrence was a little banged up. We also got 5 for 54 from Larry Droege, and we got 5 for 44 and 2 scores from Quincy Daniels. Our guy Mark McGinnis was all over the field today with 11 tackles, and then for sacks, we had 1 each for Eric Amaro, Deshaun Marshall, Howie Durbin, and Taylor Palacio. Then for interceptions, we got 2 from Torrey Dorsey, including an 89-yard pick 6. And then Mark McGinnis got 1, as well as Cameron Irvin and Cordell Reese. And then we also had a forced fumble today. That was by Eric Amaro, and it was recovered by Deshaun Marshall. And then for our kicking game, AJ So came out, and unfortunately he had a miss. For his standout day, Torrey Dorsey was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. Torrey was also the National Defensive Player of the Week. After our bye week, Josh Miles was dropped off of the Heisman Trophy list, and we have 3 Miami players up here. We return back home to the Piranha Tank, where we'll play host to the Illinois Fighting Illini with their 3-1 record and 78 team overall. And up the middle, it's going to be Marquez Hopper getting in on the flexbone run, and it's going to be 7-0. And a sack for the Piranhas, as it's going to be Deshaun Marshall. And again, it's going to be our running back, but this time it's going to be Tremaine Hurtado, and it's going to be 14-0. AJ So will come out for a field goal attempt, and AJ will put that through to make it 17-0. It's Illinois' turn for a field goal attempt as their kicker comes out for a 33-yard attempt, and he is going to put it through to put him on the board and make it 17-3. And here's a sack for the Peteytown Piranhas as our guy Tevin Montgomery gets in. And this is going to be a touchdown for the Piranhas. Ronnie Lawrence diving in and getting hit hard, but not before he crosses the plane. And it'll be 24-3. And that's going to be intercepted by Illinois near midfield. And Marquez Hopper is going to get in for into the end zone once again, and the Piranhas will go up 31-3. We get stopped at the 1-yard line, and that'll bring AJ So out again for a field goal attempt, and AJ will knock this one through as well to make it 34-3. The Piranhas get this 34-3 win over Illinois to continue their winning ways this year. Illinois can only get 188 yards, while we had 414, and then on the ground they had 37, and we had 227 and 3 scores. For passing, they had 151, and we had 187. For third down, they were 4 for 12, we were 3 for 7, and for turnovers, they had 0, and we had 1. Josh Miles with just an okay day passing the ball as he had 187 yards, a touchdown, and 1 interception, and he was not sacked. He was much better on the ground as he had 14 carries and 132 yards. Marquez Hopper, 13 for 53 and 2 scores. Tremaine Hurtado, 5 for 42 and 1 touchdown. Receiving, Pat Sates had 6 for 75, and Ronnie Lawrence, 7 for 28 and 1 touchdown. 10 tackles for Terrell Bettis to lead us, and then for sacks, we got 1 each for Tevin Montgomery and Deshaun Marshall. Then for kicking, A.J. So had 2 for 2 with a long of 32. We now travel to Nebraska, and they gave us a really hard time last time we played them, and they come into this game ranked 25th, and they are 3-2 on the year with a team overall of 89. And that's going to be picked off by Nebraska, trying to hit our guy on the outside, and he's trying to return this all the way. Josh Miles not able to cut him off, and Nebraska will bring this all the way back for a pick 6. We were threatening, but Nebraska is going to take that opportunity away in a big way. And Nebraska is going to force that one out, and they are going to recover it. So 2 times we've gotten into their red zone, and both times we've turned the ball over, this time on a strip sack, and it's going to be Nebraska's ball. And this time we're going to get a turnover as Mark McGinnis is going to cut that one off, and we're going to be right outside their red zone. And Josh Miles is going to accelerate out of there, a lot of traffic, but he was able to weave his way through, and we have our touchdown here after the interception, and it's going to be tied up at 7. And over the middle, it's going to be our guy, Tremaine Hurtado, getting that one out of the backfield on the angle route, and the Piranhas will take the lead 14-7. Up the middle for Marquez Hopper, and he easily gets into the end zone out of that flexbone formation, and we're going to go up 2 scores. Again, we're going to use the flexbone, and again, it's going to be Marquez Hopper in the end zone fighting through a guy, but we are going to go up 28-7. And trying to fire one over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted again. It's going to be Mark McGinnis again, and we're set up at their 39. Thanks to that interception and a little forward momentum from our offense, it's going to be A.J. So out here for a field goal attempt, and he will knock it through to make it 31-7. And we sent a blitz, and it's going to work out for us as Nate Mowdy gets back there. And Nebraska is going to break away from us here, and he breaks another tackle, and Nebraska's in the end zone. They were able to beat us in that seam, and then he broke a couple of tackles. Just a great individual effort by him, and it's going to be 31-14. Nebraska will elect to go for 2 here to make it a 2-possession game, and they are going to drop back. We send a blitz, they try the slant, and we break it up nicely with Torrey Dorsey. And that's going to be intercepted by Nebraska. Things got really tied up over there, and they're going to take advantage, and they have a chance at another pick 6, but Tremaine Hurtado is going to bring them down before that. Just a not well-executed play by the Piranhas, and unfortunately things got too jumbled up. And Nebraska is going to score here. That was a 4th down play, and they went for it, and they converted, and it's going to be 31-20 unless they go for the 2-point again. And we're going to find Pat Sates open in the end zone. A little bit of a tight window, but not tight enough, and it's going to be 38-20. We're going to line up A.J. So for a field goal, and A.J. will find the angle and put it through to put us up by 21. And it's going to be our guy Josh Miles just taking it himself, and it's going to make it a 48-20 game. Well, we didn't have a very good start to this game, but we definitely finished it the rest of the way as we get this 48-20 victory over Nebraska. We were definitely moving the ball as we had 612 yards to Nebraska's 273. On the ground, we had 236 and 4 touchdowns, and they had 58. For passing, we had 376 and they had 215. Third down, we were 9 for 12 and they were 4 for 12. And turnovers, we had 3 and they had 2. It was a crazy day for Josh Miles as he had 376 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, and he was sacked once. Then he was also our leader on the ground, 17 carries, 135 yards, and 2 scores. He also lost a fumble on a strip sack, and he gave us over 500 yards of offense, so just a lot going on with our guy today. Then Marquez Hopper had 19 for 98 and 2 touchdowns. For receiving, Pat Sates was our leader. He had 13 catches, 165 yards, and a score. Then our guy Larry Droege had 6 for 66. Ronnie Lawrence, 7 for 56, and Tremaine Hurtado, 6 for 53 and a touchdown. Jeff Zanzenbacher led us with 10 tackles today, and then for sacks, we had 1 from Nate Mowdy. On interceptions, there was 2 from Mark McGinnis, and big ones at that. And then for our field goal kicking, A.J. So went 2 for 2, and a long of 39. On the back of those 2 interceptions, Mark McGinnis was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. Pat Sates was the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. Got some bad injury news for Jarek Baskerville, our center. He will be out 5 weeks with a broken wrist, so unfortunate there, but we should get him for the postseason. Another road game for the Piranhas as we travel to Indiana to take on the 69 overall Hoosiers. Nice, and their 3-4 record on the year. And that's going to be intercepted. Mark McGinnis, he's on a tear with those interceptions right now. He's got 3 in the last 2 games now. And the bubble is going to go over to Larry Droege, and Larry is going to be in the end zone to open up the scoring for us. And we're going to get an interception. Eric Amaro grabbing that one from his defensive end spot. They did a little hurry up, so our personnel got a little mixed up, and Eric ended up at linebacker, but he showed his versatility there. We're going to get around that edge. Marquez Hopper is going to sprint into the end zone for the Piranhas, and we go up 14-0. And Josh Miles is going to take this one, and he's going to get that second level block to get into the end zone, and we're going to go up 21-0. And after our previous 2 drives got helped by the defense, this time the offense did it all by themselves. Marquez Hopper getting the blocks he needs, and Marquez is in the end zone again for the Piranhas as we extend it to 28-0. And the blitz is going to work out for us as Jeff Zanzenbacher gets back there and Harvey Hepburn helps him out. And we're going to get that quick slant out there to Larry Droege, and he is going to have another touchdown in this one, and it's going to be 35-0. And Pat Sates is going to break a couple of tackles and get into the end zone. What a great job by Pat. And we're going to go up 42-0. Never mind, we are not going to get 42 as they block that extra point. And here's a sack. Harvey Hepburn involved with another one. And Eric Amaro is going to chase him down. That quarterback trying to get away, but Eric wasn't having it. The Peteytown Piranhas get the big 62-0 victory over Indiana. Nice shutout effort here, and the backups came in and just did their thing as well, so great job all around by the Piranhas. With this win against Indiana, we have now won 200 straight games, which I think is a remarkable feat among many remarkable feats that the Peteytown Piranhas have accomplished in their program's history. Our Piranhas had 519 yards, while Indiana had 152. On the ground, we had 184 and 5 touchdowns, and they had 36. For passing, we had 335 and they had 116. For third down, we were 6 for 7 and they were 7 for 16. And turnovers, we didn't have any and they had 4. Josh Miles with a very good day today, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and he was not sacked. And then for our ground game, Marquez Hopper, 10 for 55 and 2 scores. Josh Miles, 4 for 51 and a touchdown. Dom Quarterman, 3 for 28 and a touchdown. And Josh Fasano, 4 for 19 and a touchdown. Then for receiving, Pat Sates, 10 for 102 and a score. Then Ronnie Lawrence, 9 for 101. And Larry Droege, 3 for 20 and 2 touchdowns. 13 tackles for Mark McGinnis to lead us with 3 for a loss, and then for sacks, we got 1 each for Harvey Hepburn and Eric Amaro, and half a sack each for Howie Durbin and Jeff Sonsenbacher. Then for interceptions, we got 4, 1 by Eric Amaro, another by Mark McGinnis, Mike Cassay, and Roderick Elias with the others, and Mike got 1 for a 7-yard pick six, so love to see that from our backup defensive tackle. We return home to the Piranha Tank to take on the Michigan State Spartans with their 5-3 record and 79 team overall. And it's going to be Josh Miles breaking free, carrying that ball like a loaf of bread, and Josh Miles is going to be in. What a play there from our QB, and nice blocking for him, and it's going to be 7-0. And here's a sack. It's going to be Howie Durbin getting back there. And Marquez Hopper is going to break free, and Marquez Hopper is in the end zone. Nice vision there from our guy. And it's going to be 14-0. And that's going to be intercepted by Michigan State, and we are going to take him down at the 36-yard line. Had a couple of guys in the area, not quite sure who Josh was trying to get it to, but that defender was right where he needed to be. AJ So lines up for a field goal attempt, a 30-yarder, and AJ will put it up, and he sneaks it through that left upright to make it 17-0. And Harvey Hepburn is going to get in for the sack. With the help of that sack, we're going to force a field goal attempt by Michigan State, a 32-yarder, and their guy is going to knock it through for 17-3. And we're going to pick him off that play action, and it's going to be Terrell Bettis getting around there and running down to the 21-yard line. Great coverage by Terrell. And it's going to be Quincy Daniels off that nice little whip route, and he's going to get into the end zone, and we're going to go up 24-3. And we're going to cut that one off as well. It's going to be Colin Metz, and he is going to get all the way down to the 1-yard line. What a play by him, just cutting that one off in zone coverage. This is Colin Stites. I don't know what I was saying, but it's Colin Stites. And we're going to get that one out to our tight end, Ronnie Lawrence, on the RPO. Got a little slant and flat action, and we went with the flat. And Ronnie was the beneficiary to make it 31-3. A deep ball being launched, and we got our man wide open, Jason Bale, on a streak, and he was found by our guy Josh. And the Peteytown Piranhas will go up 38-3. The Piranhas get another W here, a 48-3 victory over Michigan State. Offensively, we had 429 yards to Michigan State's 181, and they had 57 yards rushing, and we had 187 and 3 touchdowns. Then for passing, they had 124, we had 242. For a third down, they were 6 for 15, we were 5 for 8, and turnovers, they had 2 and we had 1. Josh Miles with 209 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and he was not sacked. And then for our running game, Josh had 8 for 67 and a touchdown. Marquez Hopper, 8 for 62 and a touchdown. And Dom Quarterman, 7 for 36 and a touchdown. Then for receiving, our guy Jason Bale, 6 for 92 and a touchdown. Ronnie Lawrence, 5 for 37 and a touchdown. And then Quincy Daniels, 2 for 27 and a touchdown. Jeff Zanzenbacher was our leading tackler with 8, and then for sacks, we had 1 each for Harvey Hepburn and Howie Durbin. Then interceptions, 1 each for Terrell Bettis and another for Colin Steets. I don't know what I was calling him, but Colin Steets is his name. And then for field goal kicking, we had 2 for 2, with a long of 51 for A.J. So. The Wisconsin Badgers now await us with their 5-3 record and 77 team overall. And it's going to be Ronnie Lawrence making a visit to the end zone here, and we're going to go up 7-0. Marquez Hopper is going to take this one, and Marquez is in the end zone, and we're going to make it 14-0. And Harvey Hepburn is going to get back there for the sack, and Eric Amaro is going to join him. And the blocking lines up beautifully for Dom Quarterman to get into the end zone. Marquez Hopper a little banged up, so our guy Dom fills in for that formation and punches it in. Wisconsin looking to get on the board here with a field goal attempt from their kicker. And their guy is going to put this one up, and it is through to make it 21-3. And it's going to be Pat Sates coming across the field, making the catch and getting into the end zone for the Piranhas. And we're going to go up 28-3. And here's a sack and a forced fumble, and somehow Wisconsin's going to recover that, but we're going to get our guy Hakeem Bighill a strip sack. Oh no, sorry, that's Gerald Barmore in on the sack. My mistake. Josh Miles is going to take this one up the middle, and Josh Miles has found the end zone for the Piranhas to make it 35-3. Josh Miles getting into the end zone again here. Nice job by the O-line clearing a path, and the Piranhas will extend it to 42-3. The Piranhas end up getting a 49-10 victory over Wisconsin. Just a great job all around by our Piranhas as usual. Our offense had 580 yards, while Wisconsin had 234, and then we had probably our greatest rushing performance of all time with 413 yards and 5 touchdowns. Wisconsin had 36. Then for passing, we had 167. They had 198. Third down, we were perfect, 8 for 8, and they were 4 for 9. And turnovers, we didn't have any, and Wisconsin had 1. Josh Miles didn't need to do anything special through the air today, as he had 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, and he was not sacked. Then the big story of the day was our rushing game, of course. Josh was our leader here with 15 carries, 122 yards, and 2 scores. Josh Fasano had 13 for 106, and Tremaine Hurtado 10 for 94. Julius Castile 3 for 32 and a touchdown. Dom Quarterman 4 for 31 and a touchdown. And Marquez Hopper 3 for 15 and a touchdown. And he was banged up a lot, so a lot of guys got opportunities today, and we really made the most of it. And then for our receiving game, Pat Sates had 4 for 41 and 1 touchdown. Ronnie Lawrence 3 for 40 and a touchdown. Mark McGinnis led us with 7 tackles today, and then for sacks, we had 1 each for Eric Amaro and Taylor Palacio, then half a sack for Harvey Hepburn and Gerald Barmore. For interceptions, we got 1 with Will Metz, and then we had a forced fumble from Eric Amaro, but we did not recover it. We're very happy to see Josh Miles back here on the Heisman Trophy watch list. A huge matchup here for the Peteytown Piranhas as number 5 Ohio State comes to town with their 99 team overall and 9-1 record. And that's going to be counted as a sack for Ohio State. And here's another sack for Ohio State. This time it's on a drop back pass. Those sacks will result in a field goal attempt for our guy A.J. So. It's going to be a 47-yarder. And A.J. launches it, and it goes through to make it 3-0. And another sack for Ohio State as they bring him down for the 3rd time. It'll be another field goal attempt for A.J. So, this time from 39 yards out. And A.J. will send it up, and it is good again to make it 6-0. And we're going to cut that one off, trying to hit the seam, and we get over there in zone coverage. That's going to be our guy Terrell Bettis cutting it off. And Ronnie Lawrence is going to haul this one in on the crosser, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Piranhas as we're going to take a 13-0 lead. And he's going to get chased down. It's going to be Eric Amaro bringing him down along with some friends. And that is going to be intercepted. Great job downfield as we're going to get a return out of this. And we just got over there in zone coverage. Looks like it's going to be Cameron Irvin coming over from his safety spot to pick it off. And it's going to be another sack for Ohio State as they're going to keep us out of the end zone again. Another sack leads to another field goal attempt here for AJ, and he is going to put it up, and he puts it through to make it 16-0. And another sack for Eric Amaro as he takes down their quarterback for a 6-yard loss. And we're going to give up a jump ball touchdown to Ohio State in the end zone. Torrey Dorsey just went a little too far back, and that's going to give Ohio State a touchdown and make it 16-7. And we are going to get that interception. Torrey Dorsey is going to make up for that long touchdown at the end of the first half with that one. Just a beautiful job jumping that. And we are going to get into the end zone here, a little drag route, and that's going to be all Quincy Daniels needs to get into the end zone, and we go up 23-7. Going for the 2-point here, and we're going to fire that slant route into the hands of Larry Droege, and we're going to go up 24-7 instead. And the handoff is going to go to Marquez, and Marquez Hopper is in the end zone. Nice job there. Little traffic out there, but Marquez was able to get around it to make it 31-7 Piranhas. And we're going to jump that one again. It's going to be Torrey Dorsey again, and Torrey is going to run down the numbers past their offense into the end zone for the Piranhas on an electrifying pick six from Torrey Dorsey, and the Piranhas will go up 38-7. And their quarterback is running backwards, and that's not a good idea as he's going to be brought down by Harvey Hepburn. And another sack incoming for the Piranhas as Howie Durbin and Harvey Hepburn combine on him. Trying another deep ball, and for the third time today, Torrey Dorsey is going to have an interception, and he's going to return it down the numbers again, and that's going to be returned out to the 29-yard line. What a day for Torrey. Another deep ball for Ohio State, and that is going to be caught and a touchdown for them. Oh my goodness, this guy is just absolutely incredible. He had that touchdown at the end of the half, and he's been making other catches for him throughout the day, but none better than that one as he just mossed two guys. Really no other way to say it there as their quarterback launches this one deep, and our two guys just have no answer. And we're going to get around the edge there. Pat Sates is going to break the tackle, and Pat Sates is going to be in the end zone for the Piranhas. Nice job on that RPO, and it's going to be 45-14 Piranhas. Another deep one, and this time it's going to be intercepted by Torrey Dorsey. 4 on the day. Oh my goodness, what a absolutely crazy game for him. Just a lot happening on his side of the field, but he's been able to take it away 4 times. A wild and crazy day here in the Piranha Tank that saw our Piranhas getting a 45-14 victory over Ohio State. Ohio State actually outgained us in this game, 405-373. They also had 19 yards rushing, and we had 91 and a touchdown. For passing, they had 386, and we had 282. For third down, they were 6 for 13, and we were 4 for 9. And turnovers, the big story here, they had 6, and we had 0. Josh Miles with 282 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and he was sacked 4 times. And then for rushing, Josh had 17 for 43, Marquez Hopper 11 for 36 and a touchdown. Then for receiving, Ronnie Lawrence 7 for 89 and a score, Pat Sates 4 for 64 and a touchdown, and then a 16-yard touchdown catch for Quincy Daniels. And then I also want to shout out this guy, Drew Hicks. He was just an absolute problem on Ohio State. He went for 7 catches, 208 yards, and 2 scores. We got 10 tackles apiece today for Cameron Ervin and Jeff Zonzenbacher, and then for sacks, we got 2 from Eric Amaro and 1 each for Howie Durbin and Harvey Hepburn. Then for interceptions, Torrey Dorsey came down with 4 today, including an 82-yard pick 6. Also gave up a couple of long touchdowns in what was a very volatile day for him, but glad was able to get at least one of those back with a pick 6. Then we got interceptions from Cameron Ervin and Terrell Bettis. And then for kicking, A.J. So had 3 for 3 with a long of 47. No real surprise here, as Torrey Dorsey was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. And we're going to see if he won National Defensive Player of the Week. He certainly did, so nice job by Torrey. Our guy Josh Miles went up 1 spot in the Heisman Trophy race, so nice job for Josh. We come into our final regular season game as the number 1 team once again, and we're going to have to face off against the number 2 team, USC, with their 99 team overall and 10-0 record. And we're also trying to make it 20 straight regular seasons without a loss, and that would give us 240 straight regular season games without a loss. And we're going to bring that blitz, a safety blitz that is, as Cameron Ervin gets in. Josh Miles running right up the middle, and Josh Miles is able to get to the end zone before the defenders can close in on him, and that's going to give us a 7-0 lead. And it's going to be Josh Miles again, and Josh Miles is in for the second time today on a rushing score, that read option working to perfection, and it's going to be 14-0 Piranhas. And here's a sack for USC as they bring that extra rusher. It's going to be Josh Miles again right up the middle. USC just not having an answer for that so far, as he's going to do it to him again for the 3rd time to make it 21-0. It's going to go out there to Ronnie Lawrence, and he becomes the first Piranha other than our guy Josh Miles to score in this game. But Josh still has a touchdown pass, so that's just going to be his 4th total touchdown to make it 28-0. It's going to be intercepted there. Josh Miles trying to go deep to our guy, and they are going to get a nice return out of it. And he's going to get to the 38-yard line, just trying a deep ball there. We thought we had him beat with Jason Bale, but the safety got over. And that is just a sensational interception out there by Colin Steets. We are going to trade interceptions with USC here. Josh Miles is going to sneak that one in to get his 4th rushing score of the day and 5th touchdown overall. And we're going to go up 35-0. And it's going to be Marquez Hopper running down the sideline here. He got that 2nd level block, and Marquez Hopper took care of the rest. What a great run by him. And the Piranhas are going to take the 42-0 lead. And over the middle, he's not going to get that one past Mark McGinnis, who covers the middle of that field so well. And we're going to have it on there, 36. A.J. So will come on for a field goal attempt now, a short one from the hash mark, and he will sneak that through to make it 45-0. And here's a sack for the Piranhas. It's going to be a forced fumble and a recovery for us, as our guy, looks like Howie Durbin, picked it up. I think it was Harvey Hepburn who forced it out. And there's a fumble on the play, and it's going to be picked up by USC. To close out this regular season, we get a shutout victory over USC, 45-0, and we're going to make it 20 straight regular seasons without losing a game, and that makes it 240 games in a row, so just absolutely remarkable consistency from these Piranhas over the years. We outgained USC by almost 400 yards as we had 534 to their 144. On the ground, they had -3 yards, and we had another big day running the ball in the rain as we had 340 and 5 touchdowns. For passing, they had 147 and we had 194. Third down, they were 2 for 12. We were 5 for 8. And turnovers, they had 3 and we had 2. Josh Miles, 194 yards, a touchdown, and 1 interception, and he was sacked once. And then for rushing, Marquez Hopper had 9 for 178 and a touchdown. Then Josh Miles, 18 for 109 and 4 touchdowns. And receiving, Pat Sates, 8 for 76. Then Jason Bale, 1 for 49. And then 4 for 26 and a touchdown by Ronnie Lawrence. We had a few guys with 6 tackles today as Mark McGinnis, Javier Lolito, Terrell Bettis, and Earl Calloway got them. Then for sacks, we got 1 each for Cameron Irvin and Harvey Hepburn. Interceptions, 1 for Mark McGinnis and another for Colin Steets. And then we had a forced fumble by our guy Harvey Hepburn, and it was recovered by Howie Durbin. Then for kicking, AJ So came out 1 time today, and he hit his 21-yarder. In the Big Ten Championship game, we're going to take on the number 10 Michigan Wolverines. Entering Conference Championship week, our guy Josh Miles has dropped to 4th place for the Heisman Trophy, so we'll see if we can change that in the upcoming Conference Championship. Good news for center Jarek Baskerville. After he was hurt, he will be back with us for the Big Ten Championship. On the line here against the Michigan Wolverines will be our 18th straight Big Ten championship streak as we go for our 19th straight, and they're going to challenge us with their 10-2 record and 97 team overall. And Michigan is going to open this game on their opening drive with a touchdown to make it 7-0. And it is going to be Ronnie Lawrence spinning into the end zone there. Wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get across, but he had that effort to get there. And we have a very nice response to their opening salvo with one of our own to make it 7-7. And a sack immediately by Eric Amaro, and that ball is out and in the arms of Harvey Hepburn, and we're going to be set up at their 14. And it's going to be Josh Miles running right up the middle, and Josh Miles is in the end zone, and the Piranhas will take the 14-7 lead. It's going to be a field goal attempt for our guy AJ, and AJ boots it away, and it is good to make it 17-7. And Harvey Hepburn is going to work hard to get there to the quarterback to get the sack. And that is going to be a touchdown for the Piranhas. Ronnie Lawrence able to step in front of the defender to grab that one. And it's going to be 24-7 Piranhas. And we are going to pick that one off. It's going to be Jalen York, the slot cornerback, deep downfield, making that one. And we're going to be set up at their 36. And it's going to be Pat Sates left all alone, and he's going to run down the numbers, and Pat Sates is in the end zone for the Piranhas. We're going to take advantage of that interception to go up 31-7. And it's going to be our guy Howie Durbin just muscling his way back there for the sack. Our offense is able to get it in position for AJ So at the end of the first half, and AJ is going to put this one up, but he is going to miss it to the left, and it'll remain 31-7. And Ronnie Lawrence is going to be in the end zone again for the Piranhas the 3rd time today, and it's going to be 38-7. And to the outside, it's going to be a diving grab out there by Larry Droege. What a play there by Larry. And we're going to go up 45-7. The Piranhas get the 55-7 victory over Michigan. Just absolute dominance from our boys in this one. They had that opening score, but then we rattled off 55 straight points. Just an absolutely wonderful effort here. And the Piranhas will make it 19 straight Big Ten championships won. Just an incredible feat there, and hopefully next season we can make it an even 20 to close out the Dynasty, but for now we're just really celebrating what we've accomplished here, looking forward to the postseason and the playoffs and what that has in store for us as we wait for our Big Ten championship trophy celebration, and there it is. 516 yards for the Piranhas to Michigan's 194, and then on the ground they had 12 and we had 187 and a touchdown. For passing they had 182 and we had 329. Third down they were 3 for 10, we were 9 for 11, and turnovers they had 3 and we had 0. Josh Miles with a great game today, 272 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and he was not sacked. Then Julius Castile, 57 yards and a touchdown. For rushing, Marquez Hopper had 8 for 76. Then we got Josh Miles, 8 for 57 and a touchdown. On the receiving end, Pat Sates with a huge day, 15 catches, 187 yards, and 2 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns was a short one with the backups where I just didn't sub him out of that formation, but ended up benefiting him. Ronnie Lawrence had 8 for 72 and 3 touchdowns. Then we got Larry Droege, 2 for 9 and a touchdown. Terrell Bettis with 8 tackles today and 3 for a loss, and then for sacks we got 1 each for Howie Durbin, Eric Amaro, and Harvey Hepburn. For interceptions we got 1 each for Jalen York and Darren Nasraldine. And then for our forced fumbles, we got 1 with Eric Amaro, and it was recovered by Harvey Hepburn. Then for field goal kicking, A.J. So was a 2 for 3 with a long of 49. Eric Amaro was the defensive player of the game in the Big Ten championship. Pat Sates was the offensive player of the game. Pat also had the best offensive performance throughout all of the conference championships. In the end, for the Heisman Trophy, it was Notre Dame wide receiver Tobias Diamond bringing it home. Josh Miles took home the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. Josh was also the Davey O'Brien Award winner. We once again took home the John Mackey Award, this time with Ronnie Lawrence. Sherwin Owen won the Outland Trophy. Our guy Josh Miles just missed out on the Heisman Trophy as he came in second, and below him was Miami's wide receiver Robert Cotu, another wide receiver with Arizona State Marquis Isaacs, and Clemson's quarterback Greg Battles. In the first round for the college football playoff, it's going to be number 5 Miami versus number 12 Buffalo, then number 8 Louisville versus number 9 USC, number 6 Baylor and number 11 Oklahoma, and then finally number 7 Notre Dame versus number 10 Michigan. And for the top 4 seeds, it's going to be Clemson at number 1, us at number 2, TCU number 3, and Texas number 4. In the quarterfinal, we're going to have to take on number 7 Notre Dame. For the first round results, Miami blew out Buffalo, and then USC took down Louisville by 1 possession. Baylor won a close one against Oklahoma, and Notre Dame won their own close one against Michigan. So that's going to set up Texas and Miami, Clemson USC, TCU Baylor, and of course us versus Notre Dame. It's time for another Peteytown playoff run as we take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in this quarterfinal with their 97 team overall and 11-2 record on the year, and it's a team we've had many a battle with, so we'll see how this latest one goes. And here's a sack for Notre Dame as our guy Josh Miles was waiting for somebody to get open, and eventually they brought him down. And the blitz is going to work out for us as the ball comes loose, and we're going to recover it. It's going to be Jeff Zanzenbacher, and he's going to pick it up, and he is going to return that all the way for a fumble 6. He was able to force it out, and he's the one who recovers it on a huge defensive play early in this game to make it 7-0. Notre Dame is going to hold us to a field goal attempt here for A.J. So, and A.J. puts it up and is going to put it in to make it 10-0. And that slant is going to fit right between the defenders of Notre Dame into the hands of Larry Droege, and it's going to be 17-0. And we're going to sky for that one, and Jeff Zanzenbacher is on another turnover for us, and now he's got a big return back to the 42-yard line. Just a fantastic day for Jeff. And it's going to be Pat Sates coming underneath, and Pat is going to find the hole in the defense and get in for the touchdown. And we're going to go up 24-0 before the end of the first half. To open up the second half, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish find themselves 47 yards away from a field goal. Their kicker is going to put this one up, and it is going to be good, so no shutout here as they make it 24-3. Josh Miles takes this one himself right up the middle, and the Piranhas will extend the lead to 31-3. It's going to be Josh Miles fighting his way through for another rushing score to make it 38-3 Piranhas. The Piranhas get the 41-6 victory over Notre Dame in this quarterfinal, just controlled it from start to finish really. A bit of a slow start on offense, but really Jeff Sonsenbacher with that fumble 6 really jump-started us, so nice job by the Piranhas. In the quarterfinal, the Piranhas had 340 yards to Notre Dame's 212, and then on the ground they had 15 and we had 78 and 2 touchdowns. For passing, they had 197, we had 262. For third down, they were 4 for 12 and we were 4 for 9. And turnovers, they had 3 and we didn't commit any. Josh Miles really solid out there with 255 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and he was sacked once. Then on the ground, Josh led us here as well, 14 carries, 47 yards, and 2 scores. Marquez Hopper, 7 for 27. Then for receiving, Larry Droege had 6 for 78 and a touchdown. Ronnie Lawrence, 4 for 49. Pat Sates, 3 for 41 and a touchdown. Mark McGinnis with 8 tackles today, and then for sacks, we got 1 each for Jeff Sonsenbacher, Mike Gassay, and Taylor Palacio, and half a sack each for Jay Azur and Mike Edmonds. For interceptions, we got 1 with Jeff Sonsenbacher and another with Jay Azur. Then for our forced fumbles, we got 1 with Jeff and another with Austin Chamberlain, and that was recovered by Jeff, just getting his own strip sack, and he returned that 56 yards for a fumble 6, just a magnificent game for Jeff today. And then for kicking, we got AJ So here. He went 2 for 2 with a long of 24. In the semifinal, we're going to take on number 6 seed Baylor. Baylor has gone 14-1 this year, and they're a team who's had a modicum of success during this dynasty run. They've been to the national championship a couple of times where we've beaten them there, and they've also had some Heisman Trophy winners, so definitely a team that has some history behind them. And we are going to get him down for the safety. Nice job by Terrell Bettis bringing him down. We're going to get around them with Marquez Hopper, and we are going to get the touchdown to make this one 9-0. And that's going to be an interception. Mark McGinnis undercutting that one, and we're going to be at their 17. The bubble is going to go out to Larry Droege, and Larry's got himself a touchdown to extend our lead to 16-0. Baylor put together a drive to set up a field goal attempt, and their guy is going to knock it through to make it 16-3. And it's going to be Josh Miles, perfect blocking there by the O-line, and Josh is in to make it 23-3. Another field goal attempt upcoming for Baylor here, a 37-yard attempt, and their guy is going to put it up, and he puts it through to make it 23-6. We're going to respond to their field goal with an attempt of our own as AJ So comes out with the last few seconds on the clock for the first half. He's going to put it in to make it 26-6. And that is going to be intercepted by the Piranhas. Mark McGinnis out there on the sideline making the play. That quarterback got hit as he threw, and Mark was all over it. And that is going to be intercepted by the Piranhas. Colin Metz is able to haul it in after it was tipped, and we're going to prevent them from putting points on the board. The Peteytown Piranhas will walk out of here with a 26-6 victory over Baylor. Pretty ugly offensively, especially in that second half, but the defense was more than up to the task today to hold Baylor down, and our offense did what they had to do in the first half to get this victory. On this day, the Piranhas had 428 yards to Baylor's 255. On the ground, they had 39, and we had 138 and 2 touchdowns. For passing, they had 216, we had 290. Third down, they were 4 for 13, we were 5 for 12. And turnovers, they had 3, and we had 0. Josh Miles with 290 yards, a touchdown, and no interceptions, and he was not sacked. And then for our running game, Marquez Hopper, 26 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Josh Miles, 9 for 54 and a touchdown. For receiving, Pat Sates had 10 for 95. Ronnie Lawrence, 7 for 69, nice. And we got Larry Droege with 6 for 43 and a score. On defense, Cameron Irvin and Terrell Bettis each had 9 tackles. We did not have a sack today. And then for interceptions, we got 2 from Mark McGinnis and another from Colin Steets. And then all the way down here, we had a safety today. That was done by Terrell Bettis. Mark McGinnis was the best defensive player of the semifinal round. In the national championship, it's going to be number 1 versus number 2, as 1 seed Clemson will be our opponent. Looking at how things unfolded to get us to this point in the college football playoff, you had in the quarterfinal Texas taking down Miami, Clemson taking down USC, then Baylor won a close one against TCU to get to us, and of course we had that blowout against Notre Dame. Then in the semifinal, it was a blowout by Clemson over Texas, and of course we had our victory, and that's going to set up us and Clemson, of course, in Houston, Texas. We once again find ourselves in the national championship game with our opponent this time being Clemson with their 95 overall and undefeated record, and we are trying to win our 13th straight national championship and 21st overall. And that's going to be picked off by Clemson trying to hit a deep crosser to Pat Sates, but he was right where he needed to be. And off the play action, the blitz is going to work out for us as our guy Nate Nowdy gets back there. And it's going to be another sack incoming as Harvey Hepburn gets in there. Eric Amaro might have gotten a hand on him too. We get that one out to Ronnie Lawrence, and Ronnie is in the end zone. Nice decision from Josh Miles, and the Piranhas are on the board first. And it's going to be Pat Sates getting into the end zone, the senior making an impact here, and the Piranhas will go up 14-0. And he's going to get sacked here. Deshaun Marshall getting back there along with Harvey Hepburn. And it's going to be Pat Sates getting left all alone. Pat Sates running down the numbers, and nobody's going to catch him. Another touchdown for Pat. And the Peteytown Piranhas will take the commanding 21-0 lead. Clemson will try to cut into the deficit here before the end of the half, and their kicker is going to put it up and put it through to make it 21-3. And here's a sack for the Piranhas. Eric Amaro getting back there. And it is going to be Tremaine Hurtado from the backfield getting into the end zone on the angle route, and the Piranhas will be up 28-3. And we're going to cut that off. It's going to be Cameron Irvin in the right place at the right time for that pick. And here's a sack for Clemson. They were able to muck it up there on the routes that we had and get the sack. And that's going to be an interception for Clemson. Really should have been pass interference because they really stopped Pat Sates from running his route there, but it is what it is. And it's going to be Marquez Hopper spinning his way into the end zone for the exclamation point in this national championship as we're up 35-3. 35-3 is your final score in this national championship as the Peteytown Piranhas walk off the field national champions once again for the 13th straight year and 21st time overall. Just incredible run here for the Peteytown Piranhas. Legendary, historic, and Steve Sarkisian joined Clemson, wanting to win a national championship, but we're going to deny him that. as Ronnie Lawrence hands it over to Petey Previtt again, and he lifts it again, and he's just very used to that at this point. And our fans are just absolutely loving what our guys have done this season and in their history. Josh Miles doing his thing out there, a couple of turnovers, but we'll forgive him for that, for delivering this national championship to us. And we're going to wait for our guys to be celebrating with the trophy. As you see Ronnie Lawrence just showing grit and determination out there. And the Peteytown Piranhas will be celebrating with Josh Miles and the boys. Eric Amaro has had an illustrious career with us, and now you can call him a record breaker, as he's now the Big Ten leader in career sacks. The national championship by the numbers has us with 432 yards, while Clemson had 238. On the ground, we had 150 and a touchdown, and they had -11. For passing yards, we had 282, and they had 249. Third down, we were 6 for 8, and they were 4 for 11. Turnovers, we ended up having more with 2, and we forced 1 on them. Josh Miles with 282 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, and one that I'm not going to blame him for, and he was sacked once in his final game with us. Then Marquez Hopper had a big day, 19 carries, 133 yards, and a touchdown. On the receiving front, Ronnie Lawrence leaves us with 9 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. And in his final game, Pat Sates 5 for 96 and 2 scores. And then Tremaine Hurtado also in his final game, 2 for 15 and a touchdown. A lot of seniors making an impact on defense today as well, as we had 9 tackles apiece from seniors Terrell Bettis and Jeff Sonsenbacher. Then for sacks, Eric Amaro leaves us with 1.5, then 1 for Nate Mowdy, and 1 for Harvey Hepburn, another senior, and another senior here with half a sack by Deshaun Marshall. And then for interceptions, would you look at that, another senior, Cameron Irvin, getting this one. Of all the players who could have been the defensive player of the game in the national championship, it was given to Tory Dorsey, and Pat Sates was the offensive player of the game in the national championship. On the year, Josh Miles had 4,374 yards, 48 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. Then on the ground, Marquez Hopper had 181 carries, 1,166 yards, and 17 touchdowns. Then Josh Miles, 154 for 976, and he also had 17 touchdowns. For receiving, Pat Sates led us, 117 catches, 1,395 yards, and 14 scores. Then Ronnie Lawrence, 105, 1,041, and 16 touchdowns. Then Larry Droege had 58, 620, and 6 touchdowns. And then we're going to go down to Tremaine Hurtado, 39 for 317 and 2 scores, and Marquez Hopper, 30 for 255 and 1 touchdown. Our leader in tackles this year was Mark McGinnis, and then for TFLs, we had 25 from Eric Amaro to lead us. On sacks, Eric Amaro was also our leader here with 11. For interceptions, our leader was Tory Dorsey with 8. Then we got 7 from Mark McGinnis. And then we got defensive touchdowns, 2 by Tory Dorsey, and then 1 each for Cameron Irvin, Jeff Sonsenbacher, and Mike Cassay. Then pass deflections, 13 for Tory, 12 for Terrell Bettis, and 10 for Mark. And then we have forced fumbles, 4 for Eric Amaro. Then we got a bunch of guys with 1 here. And for fumble recoveries, 1 each for Jeff Sonsenbacher, Harvey Hepburn, Deshaun Marshall, Cameron Irvin, and Howie Durbin. And then for any blocks, no blocks, but we did get a safety this year with Terrell Bettis. For field goal kicking, A.J. So, the freshman, had a very nice year with 18 of 20, and then he was 90%, and a long of 51. Going to focus on career stats for guys who have been with us their whole careers, and Pat Sates was one of those with 183 catches, 2,068 yards, and 26 touchdowns. Ronnie Lawrence had 139 for 1,380 and 17 touchdowns. For his career, Jalen York, our slot corner, had 210 tackles, 10 TFLs, and 4 interceptions, and then he also contributed 15 pass deflections and 1 forced fumble. During his outstanding career, Eric Amaro had 116 TFLs, which is just mind-boggling, and he also had 55 career sacks, 3 interceptions, and then he also had 1 defensive touchdown and 7 pass deflections, and he had 8 forced fumbles and 1 fumble recovery. Harvey Hepburn had 61 career TFLs and 30 sacks to go with 4 interceptions. And then for his pass deflections, he had 4. He also had 1 forced fumble and a fumble recovery. Also want to point out Torrey Dorsey with 17 career interceptions, just a ball hawk out there. He also had 6 career defensive touchdowns, 24 pass deflections, and 1 forced fumble, and he also had a fumble recovery. Only one guy in the transfer portal, and it's Dom Quarterman, and he's looking at playing time, and because of that, he's going to leave. Another very talented senior class that we're saying goodbye to, and of course, if they were here their whole careers, they never lost a game, and they won national championships every year they were here. And we start with Sherwin Owen, a fantastic guard for us. And you got Cameron Irvin, a playmaker at free safety, and then Eric Amaro, an award winner early in his career. Not so much later in his career, but still had very consistent seasons and production and so many career TFLs and sacks. Then you got Torrey Dorsey, who was just a playmaker and ball hawk at corner. Then Josh Miles, of course, the quarterback, really stepped up this year and led us very well. Then you got Colin Steets on the other side at corner, very good player. Jalen York, our slot guy, and very talented. And Harvey Hepburn, the partner in crime on the D-line, just maybe not as many sacks as he'd have liked this year, but still a very good player. And then Jarek Baskerville, a very good center, and leading the offensive line along with Tyler Haslam and Sua Yamini, just very talented. Pat Seats, maybe not as explosive as other receivers we've had, but just reliable with those hands and route running. And then you got Terrell Bettis, always making plays out there. Then Jeff Zanzenbacher, another strong safety. He was just always around the ball and especially had good games and just was a really good guy that we had. Then we got Javier Lolito, kind of got the short end of the stick with all the talented corners, but we will miss him and he'll get into the NFL, so we love to see that. Then you got Dom Quarterman, decided to really boost up his stats to try to get him drafted to help us that way. Then Tremaine Hurtado, maybe not going to be drafted, well, we'll see, but very talented guy and a guy who was really reliable with receiving. Then we got Larry Droege, a number 2 guy, and very reliable with those hands, of course. And we also got Deshaun Marshall, a guy who was able to make some plays this year after waiting for a while. And we got a few guys here that didn't play all that much, but J.P. Dickens did. He was a fullback that was very talented and just sacrificed everything for the team. And we got some other guys here. Ronnie Lawrence, the tight end, John Mackey Award winner, and just he waited his time, and that normal dev could have held him back, but still got the John Mackey Award and got the job done. And we got some guys here. Nobody else who really did a lot of things. Got some defensive tackles who didn't start or anything, but we kept them around the program, and they were with the backups out there making plays and just making sure that we had players there when we needed them. A lot of draftees in this class, and 7 of them were round 1 picks with quarterback Josh Miles, Sherwin Owen, Eric Amaro, Torrey Dorsey, Cameron Irvin, Colin Steets, and Jalen York. Then for round 2, Jarek Baskerville and Harvey Hepburn. Round 3, Pat Seats and Tyler Haslam. Round 4, Sua Yamini, Terrell Bettis, and Jeff Zanzenbacher. Round 5, Javier Lolito. And round 7, Larry Droege and Deshaun Marshall. Recapping what we did in the transfer portal, we had to find a lot of guys, of course, to fill out the roster, and we found 14 star devs, and that includes the top transfer in the class with Edge Alpha Rowe, and you can see what he brings to the table, just incredible at everything. Good athleticism, 99 power moves, 91 finesse moves, and a lot of abilities that he brings to the table. And then we got the second best edge in the class with Deshaun Khaled. He's got 90 speed and 92 acceleration, 91 finesse moves. That all stands out. He's got some good abilities as well. Then we got cornerback Levi Goodley, 98 speed and 99 acceleration and 99 change of direction. And then halfback Brian Hines, 95 speed, 98 acceleration, 99 ball carrier vision, and silver shifty. Then there's a bunch of guys that I didn't really scout just to have all the points I needed to fill out the roster, but you can see that we got a lot of good guys. And then looking at the top classes in the country, we ended up at number 10 with our 30 signings and 19 4 stars and 11 3 stars. A position change of note was moving Earl Callaway from free safety to strong safety. Just feel like he can make more plays in this position, and he's going to pair with Cordell Reese to make a nice 1-2 punch. Just a quick note before we dive into the training results, I'm pretty much just maxing out everybody as it's going to be the last season of the Dynasty in the following season, so all players, including juniors and underclassmen and everybody, they're all pretty much going to get maxed out to their max abilities, so we'll see what happens. In our final season, we're going to be led by 99 overall QB Julius Castile, and for him, his accuracy got maxed out, his power is at 99 throw power, and his IQ is up to its max. We also boosted up his elusiveness, and his quickness is at 97 speed and 99 acceleration. And for his abilities, he's got Platinum Dot and Bronze Mobile Resistance. Halfback Marquez Hopper is another 99 overall player, and for him, his quickness was already maxed out here, and his elusiveness has also been maxed out. Then his IQ went up to 95 ball carrier vision and 91 awareness. Then for his abilities, he's got Platinum Shifty, Silver Head First, Bronze Sidestep, Gold Downhill, and Silver Armbar. Transfer halfback Brian Hines should be a nice complement to Marquez Hopper as he has his 95 speed and 98 acceleration. He also got his elusiveness up a little bit, as well as his hands. Then he got his route running to a decent spot, and his IQ was already here at 84 awareness and 99 ball carrier vision. And for his abilities, he's got Platinum Shifty. Wide receiver Kona Onatolu is a 93 overall, 95 with tactician boost, and for him his quickness met its cap at 96 speed and 98 acceleration. His hands got up to a very nice spot. His route running is also in very good shape, and he also boosted up his awareness. And then for his abilities, he's got Platinum Sidestep, Bronze Shifty, and Gold Cutter. Wide receiver Jason Bale is a 92 overall, 93 with tactician boost, and his speed was already at 99 with 97 acceleration. He also got his hands up to a nice spot at 91 catching and 96 spec catch. He also got his route running where everything here is above a 92. And then for his abilities, he's got Gold Double Dip, Gold Takeoff, and Gold Recoup. Wide receiver Jared Barnes is a 91 overall, 92 with tactician boost, and for him, his quickness maxed out at 98 speed and acceleration. His hands went up pretty nicely, as well as his route running. And for his abilities, he has Silver Double Dip and Platinum Takeoff, as well as Bronze Recoup. Wide receiver Quincy Daniels is a 90 overall, 91 with tactician boost, and his quickness met its cap at 93 speed and 90 acceleration. His hands are at 87 catching, 97 catch in traffic, and 94 spec catch. His route running almost met its cap, but everything here is at a 97 at least, so very nice there. Then for his abilities, he's got Silver Downhill, Gold Press Pro, Platinum Sure Hands, and Gold Cutter. It's going to be an interesting dynamic here at tight end as we have a couple of pure blockers at the top here with Jose Hammer leading the way at 90 overall, but I think I'm going to have Keyshawn Tobin as our main tight end just because he has more athleticism than the other guys, so they still have a role with blocking and everything in those tight end sets, but I think I'm going to trust Keyshawn to take over here. Offensive tackle Enrique Ogletree is a 93 overall, 94 with tactician boost, and his pass blocking almost met its cap. He's at 95 pass block with 98 finesse and power in the pass block. Then his run blocking went up a little bit, as well as his IQ. Then for his abilities, he's got Platinum Pocket Shield and Quick Drop, and Gold Play Action Shield, along with Silver Wear Down. Alec Murphy has turned himself into a fantastic all-around center at 99 overall, and he got his IQ to its max and his run blocking to its max. His pass blocking met its cap, his power also met its cap, and he boosted up his quickness a little bit and did a lot of work on his footwork. And then for his abilities, he's got Platinum Pocket Shield and Outside Shield, Bronze Strong Grip, and Platinum Option Shield and Inside Shield. Guard Marvin Pryor is a 99 overall for us, and his run blocking and pass blocking were both maxed out. His power met its cap, then he got his IQ to 93 awareness, and then his footwork got a lot of work on it, and his quickness as well. Then for his abilities, he's got Platinum Pocket Shield and Outside Shield, Gold Strong Grip, and Platinum Option Shield and Inside Shield. Mitch Haywood is a 97 overall tackle, and his pass blocking was maxed out. His run blocking got a nice boost, as well as his power, and his IQ also came a long way. And then for his abilities, he's got Platinum Pocket Shield, Bronze Play Action Shield. Tackle Everett Greason is a 96 overall, and his pass blocking maxed out, and his run blocking went up a nice chunk, and his power also got a boost, and his IQ went up to 84 awareness and 90 lead block. Then for his abilities, he's got Platinum Pocket Shield, Platinum Play Action Shield, and Gold Wear Down. Transfer Edge Afa Rowe is a 96 overall, and for him, his power moves were already maxed out. We boosted up his finesse moves a tiny bit, and we also got his run stopping up. And for his abilities, he's got Platinum Pocket Disruptor, Gold Duress, Bronze Workhorse, and Gold Takedown. Taylor Palacio is an edge who is a 93 overall, and his power moves got up to 95 as well as his finesse moves. Then we did a lot of work on his run stopping, and his quickness had met its cap at 96 speed and 98 acceleration. And then he has Platinum Quick Jump, Platinum Duress, and Gold Takedown. Our other transfer edge, Deshaun Khaled, is also a 93 overall, and for him, his power moves are at 81. His finesse moves met its cap. Then he got his run stopping up a little bit. Then for his abilities, he's got Silver Quick Jump, Gold Takedown, and Gold Pocket Disruptor. Mike linebacker Mark McGinnis is a 99 overall, and his IQ is up to 86 awareness and play rec. His quickness was already at 91 speed and 96 acceleration, and his run stopping got up very nicely, and his pass coverage is at 99 zone. And for his abilities, he's got Platinum House Call and Robber, as well as Bronze Wrap Up. Outside linebacker Nate Mowdy is a 96 overall, 97 with tactician boosts, and his quickness is up to 92 speed and 99 acceleration. His pass coverage to 91 zone. His run stopping, everything here is at least a 91. His IQ is at 81 awareness and 82 play rec. And then for his abilities, he's got Silver Wrap Up, Bronze Aftershock, Platinum Blow Up, and Silver Hammer. Austin Chamberlain is a 95 outside linebacker, and his quickness is 92 speed and 95 acceleration. His pass coverage is up to 99 zone and 94 man. His run stopping is also up very nicely, and his IQ took a little boost. And for his abilities, he's got Platinum House Call and Platinum Robber. Cornerback Jay Azur is a 99 overall, and for him, his man coverage, zone coverage, and quickness all maxed out. And for his abilities, he's got Platinum Blanket Coverage, Gold Jammer, Platinum House Call, Gold Ball Hawk, and Platinum Knockout. Darren Nasruddin is another 99 overall cornerback, and his man coverage was maxed out as well as his zone coverage. His quickness met its cap. Then for his abilities, he's got Gold Blanket Coverage, Silver Jammer, Platinum House Call, and Gold Ball Hawk and Knockout. Free safety Doug Silvestro is a 92 overall, and his IQ is up to 80 awareness and 86 play rec. He met his cap in pass coverage and also in quickness. And for his abilities, he's got Gold Knockout. We've added another 99 overall player to the secondary with strong safety Earl Callaway, and his IQ met its cap at 94 awareness and 96 play rec. Then he maxed out his pass coverage skills, his quickness, and his run support. Then for his abilities, he's got Platinum Wrap Up and Platinum Knockout. If 199 overall strong safety weren't enough, we got another one here with Cordell Reese, and for him, he met his cap in zone coverage, man coverage, and quickness. He also got his run support up, and for his abilities, he's got Gold Ball Hawk, Platinum House Call and Robber, and Gold Knockout. We have come to the end of the penultimate season of the Peteytown Piranhas, another undefeated campaign and a national championship for us. Just incredible consistency over the years for the Piranhas, and really all that's left is the final season, so we'll get to that in our final episode. I'll see you guys in the next video.